it really feels like Star Wars now is split into these like separate fiefdoms, right? So on the movie side of things, you've got Kathleen Kennedy desperately trying to make Rey a thing still. Like, I'm going to press forward with more Rey movies. Like, okay. Then you've got Jon Favreau, who tried to make The Mandalorian a thing. Like, he tried to make that successful, and it eventually got hijacked. I don't know if he's still even working there, but like he made it work for a little while. You had the Mandoverse. And now you've got Dave Filoni, who's just basically like, I want to make my animated shows into live action. I just want to legitimize them by bringing them all in with things like Ahsoka. And it's like you've got three separate little kingdoms within Star Wars, and they're all like vying for dominance. And there just doesn't feel like much cohesion to any of it. It's just everyone out for themselves.
Well, they're all dead. That's the problem. The problem with this, Drinker, is it's not just a movie or a TV show. It's connected to merchandising. It's connected to a theme park. So they have to, like, they're so dumb. They were so confident that Rey was going to be so good that they centered an entire land in both parks here in America around her, of all people, Kylo Ren. And when it doesn't work, they can't simply just pull the plug because they've got investors. They've got so much into this that they have to try. Unfortunately, what would be better would be to just repurpose your land back into Star Wars land, get rid of these characters, forget all about them, and start over again. But they're too dumb to do that because they're looking too much at the investment. Back in the old days when things failed in Hollywood and they weren't connected to merchandising, they can just go, shit can this, let's do it again later. You know, they
this is what happens when you...
Best. It's like three people shitting into the same toilet.
Some of them don't get quite
This is what happens.
Some of it slops over the edge.
This is what happens when you take over a predominantly male franchise and then try to change it to female. All you do is you alienate a lot of your male audience, your male customer base, and you're not bringing on females to replace that. No. You can tell by the diminishing returns of the films for a start. They were just losing people, lost half between Force Awakens and Last Jedi, and then lost even more going through to the Rise of Sky Palpatine Woker. And then now you have the Star Wars is not even on the big screen. It's on the small screen. It's not even on the small screen. It's on streaming platform. It's got such a minimal audience now. And you're just like, it's so easy to understand why the Galactic Star Cruiser Hotel Woman in Space singing failed miserably. Who's gonna go?
Yeah, and if I could I'm sorry.
Ahead,
oh, well, Gary had mentioned the theme park, and then now Az had mentioned the theme park. I literally, while watching the first two episodes, I was like, I swear to fucking God, if the Halcyon shows up in this goddamn show, I'm done. I'm not even joking. I was like, I swear to God, if it shows up, I'm done.
And Sabine and Ahsoka get married and go on.
Oh my God, they're right.
Yeah, is it like am I missing something from Rebels? But like the way they look at each other, it's like ex-lovers.
Yeah, but
there's so many sex looks going between them. Like
in our FNT, in our FNT chat, Chrissy Mayer said, "Is it just me, or am I getting sexual tension vibes between Sabine and Ahsoka?"
That's not what she said. She said sexually aroused.
Sexually aroused. Well, I said I think they're trying to do a Master Padawan, but they just doing it so badly it comes across as sexual tension. Because I got exactly the same. I was just like, it feels like they're ex-lovers, not ex-master and Padawan.
So much of their dialogue feels like that. Like, I don't know if they're just doing this like whole baiting thing, like, you know, ostensibly they're talking as master and Padawan, but you know what they're really talking.
It did feel like between Ahsoka and Sabine, it did feel like there was a breakup and a space U-Haul involved.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, I guess even that like the only Green General thing kept looking like Ahsoka, like, yeah, you.
I don't know who this Hera. By the way, I don't know who this Hera is. This Hera is acting nothing like Hera at all.
Yeah.
Nope.
Not a bit.
I felt like it was mostly sterile. I really didn't get much in terms of.
I didn't. Yeah. I mean, mostly you're right.
It's the sterility of the Mando seasons as well. Like everything.
Disney Star Wars is sterile, so it's kind of on point.
Why did Sabine at the beginning of the first episode? Why did Sabine not go to the thing?
Exactly.
Like, because honestly, everyone was being super nice to her. It's like, it's a big celebration in your honor. Like, could you go? And
that was
like, no, because I'm an angry maverick girl boss, and I need to ride my speed bike.
Oh, dude.
Yeah, and
what are you doing? Like, how are you trying to make us empathize with this character?
the rock music came in, she's charging forward in a motorbike. I was like, oh my god! It's like the writer grabbed me out of the screen and went, "She's cool." Okay,
it's Kirk from the beginning of 2009 Star Trek.
Right.
Yeah, that's exactly what it reminded me of.
It's like
on
the
a
writers-
highway, which I'm like, why does this planet have a highway? What's going on here?
Nobody's on it, by the way.
Nobody's on it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sabine, I've always felt like Sabine is a dated cartoon character from like she's a 2016 SJW. That's what she is.
Yes.
They made her a graffiti artist, and it looks even more dated now, especially by the end of episode 2 when they tried to. By the way, I didn't even remember. They tried to mirror a scene from the end of Rebels at the end when she's walking,
Which is
with her helmet under it. Like it mirrors the scene
right.
from Rebels that nobody watched. So. But yeah, she's just a dated character, and more importantly, unlikable as hell. To send in your entire that whole like, I'm gonna just not go. By the way, did you love the monument drinker?
Fucking Christ, man.
Boy!
I honestly thought I'd taken a one-way
Sexual
ticket
tension.
to Retardsville. And it's like a developmentally challenged child painted that mural or something. That's the monument that you're putting up to these
that's the mural.
heroes of.
You got to
She's
be
an
careful,
artist.
Edric. You're
Jesus.
touching on a lot of people. People like that, you know.
I mean, people were saying like when I put this on Twitter, like, oh well, that's just mirroring what they had in Rebels, and it's like, yeah, but that was like an animated.
That was an animated
show.
show.
I like the way
You don't have
Kanan wasn't
to-
referenced at all as well. At least I
bit.
can't remember. No.
Dude, bro, you totally didn't reference me.
Yeah, and I wonder if Zeb is going to show up because he's a completely CGI character. And I was like, no, he's a dude. He won't show up at all. Like,
You're right. He'll show up like in a part of a scene because that's all they got the budget for.
Yeah, it'll be the last episode, one cameo. He'll show up in a fighter and he'll be like, good job, guys. You guys are so great and everything. And I'm all like, ridiculous.
You'll see him from behind blurred.
Right?
There was a funny CG character that turned up in Mando season 3 that people said was from Rebels, right? Some guy in a bar. He was like
That
a
was
CG
Zeb.
dude.
That was Zeb.
Right,
yeah.
right, yeah.
That was
Yeah,
Wait,
and he's
he
my
was in
personal
Mando, but not
Yeah,
What?
exactly. Yeah, and he's my favorite
don't
character
fucking
from that
know.
show. So I'm all like, I'm like, this is ridiculous. It's a really bad choice, but
to know what's going on, you need to probably have read Heir to the Empire because they're going to rip off bits of that. You're going to need to watch four seasons of Rebels and Mandalorian season 2 to know what's going on.
Oh, Gary, on Disney Plus, they had a whole section of like homework. It's like you need to watch all of these episodes of Rebels before watching Ahsoka. It's like, oh god.
yeah.
It's like, how about you just have a good narrative that fills us in on this stuff and
This is
doesn't
the
assume
thing.
that we've watched your obscure fucking show
They
that
had
no one
this
cares about.
It is absurd that I've seen Ahsoka in
really
several
funny.
episodes of Mando and Boba Fett and 2 of her own show, and I still can't describe Ahsoka as a character to you, other than
because
as
she's
Drinker already
nothing. She's nothing like the Clone
Nothing.
Wars or Rebels Ahsoka. It's not the same character. The live action version, but no, I mean, I got no problem with Rosario Dawson at all. I like her.
She's a good
But
actor, yeah.
Yeah, but this isn't Ahsoka. She's in no way personifying any of Ahsoka's tropes
Right.
or traits or personality or anything like that. So I'm just like, this is just another person. It doesn't feel like it's Ahsoka
Yeah.
in name only.
But you know what they'll come back
had
with
right.
as? Like when you point this out, they'll be like, oh, but she's older now. So that allows her to have a
Well, no, we can
completely
tell in the
different
fight
personality.
scenes.
Right. Oh my gosh, I'm so glad you mentioned that. Those fight sequences, I was like, did Rosario Dawson practice at all? Because it was like watching The Last Jedi where she like swung and the person just waited for her to get there. And I'm like, what's
You
going
could tell-
on here? So choppy,
Yeah.
so choppy. It was ridiculous.
It wasn't so much that like she was missing her mark, she was just really low energy and slow.
Yeah.
And I don't know if she just couldn't be arsed or like she's a bit older and maybe she can't do like fast-paced choreography or whatever.
She's only 44. That's not that old. She could. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
When
I
she
guess
was
that's
running
it,
to the
yeah.
ship, when the assassin was running away and she was running after the assassin, I was actually like, oh, this is really bad. This is really, you just came across as this slow middle-aged woman running. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're
Yeah,
a Jedi. Well,
Yeah, put her on a treadmill on a green screen and make it look like she's running faster. Like it's not that hard.
body doubler.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
For the fight scenes, use stunt doubles. That's why they're there.
Oh,
You need
stop it. You're making
CGI
too much sense. You're making too much sense.
Maybe they didn't have the budget for that. It's like, nah, you have to do
Hey,
all of it
in
yourself.
Buffy, you can see the stunt double every single time.
Oh, yes.
And I don't even think people would have cared if they could tell it was a stunt double. I think
Well,
people
don't
just
care.
would have appreciated that they tried. Like,
Yes.
that's the problem. They don't.
She's in heavy makeup anyway.
Yeah,
so.
and they don't try and just go, "Hey, our audience isn't dumb," but I think they think the audience is dumb, so they're like, "Let's just do this." And Rosario Dawson, good job, you get a gold star for the day.